I want to learn to maintain my longboards, and I figured there was no better way than to rebuild my second board, which we call Old Rusty. As you can see, it's been well ridden. It has cracked and peeling grip tape, these odd plastic plates, scrapes on the underside, chipped wheels, and a splintered tip. When I took it for a test ride, it was so squeaky that you can hear it over the freeway noise. First, I removed and cleaned the trucks. Then, we applied construction-grade adhesive to the tip and let it dry overnight. The next day, I sanded the glue down and sanded off the paint. Next, I removed the grip tape. This was difficult, but after some errors, I began to get the hang of it. Next, I spray painted the back. We're gonna repaint Old Rusty, and it's gotta be red because it's rust, right? And then the monarch here, the R, taped out. In hindsight, I should have removed the grip tape after painting. The adhesive residue under the grip tape kept sticking to everything, and I was removing the grip tape anyway, so getting paint on it was not a big deal. I had to do multiple coats over several days, but the end result was quite pleasing. I also painted the trucks red so I would get a nice pop of color on top of the board. While the paint was drying, I put the hardware into rubbing alcohol to clean the grime off. I'm not sure if this is bad for the nylon and the lock nuts, but I thought of that after I had already done it. After that, I applied the new grip tape. I did a lot wrong here. For instance, I used a wrench to score the edge, but the curved edge of the wrench did not give me a very good score, making my cut not very straight. I also should have removed the excess grip tape around the cutaways before trying to score the edge. The excess tape prevented me from scoring the cutaways at the same time as the rest of the deck, causing the score line to be less seamless. I also needed the razor to be flatter relative to the top of the deck. I had the razor too vertical, causing my cut to allow the tape to curve over the edge of the board slightly. I had to go back and recut it to prevent it from peeling up. All this made for a less clean finished result. Overall, not bad for my first try. Next, I put the trucks back on the board. I used the same hardware as after it was cleaned, it seemed to be in okay condition. I used paraffin wax to eliminate the squeaking trucks. I replaced the bushings with aftermarket Venom bushings recommended by JG. I went with 90A barrels board side and 87A cones roadside. The board side cup washer was just too small for the barrel bushings I got, so I went to Home Depot and picked up some flat washers for less than $1. I had a really tough go getting the nut on the kingpin to bite, but once it did, things came together. The bearings I put into the wheels are not high-end. They are the stock bearings that came with my Magneto boards, but I wanted to learn to clean bearings as well, so putting them into this build allows me to see how I did. I took the bearings apart and soaked them in 91% isopropyl alcohol for 3 hours and let them air dry. I re-lubed them with Bones Speed Cream. I was concerned that the cleaned bearings did not free spin very well, but people online said that didn't matter. The test is putting them into the wheels and seeing if I did it right. Now, with the wheels on, the board looks good. I was really happy with the pop of red from painting the trucks. I made some last-minute adjustments to prevent wheel bite, and then it was time for the moment of truth. I was impressed. The squeak was gone. The rattling was also gone. The bearings seemed to be working great. Even wifey was impressed.
Feels really good. Same old hard board as last time, but really smooth actually.
Not as rattly.
No.
Then, 24 hours after it was rebuilt, it was wrecked. The tip was split to the center of the ply, so the front truck had to be removed, and the tip re-glued, clamped, sanded, and painted. Then it was time to put it back together. time I added a nose guard, the ply at the tip is delaminating, so adding some extra protection will help the deck survive a little longer. With that, the board was complete. Again. There is only one thing left to do. Write it. And crash it. That's it for today. Thank you for watching. Bye.